This is fall 2016, and this is the release tape. The first and most important thing of being a wide receiver is getting open. And so you have to be able to release on the line of scrimmage. We do a lot of drills in practice, but I think this is a good reminder. Don't mistake activity for achievement. Practice it the right way. So as we do these fundamentals, it's important that you understand the technique so we practice it the proper way in practice. The first thing we want to talk about is starts. And everything starts with your stance. We talk about having a great stance with your weight, feet, shoulders width apart. The upper body is down, the pads are down, the hands are high. Okay? The legs are in a power stance, which we call where our weight is down. There's flexion in our knees. The weight basically your weight is about 90% on that front foot before you can come off. This is our first drill. We do it every day. Stance and starts, no false step. We're going to explode for 5 yards with low pads, running underneath the chute. And this is a race every day. As fast as we can run. We want to be cheetahs. We want to go 0 to 60 in 3 steps. You can only do that by being in a great stance and being low, with low pads, high hands, accelerating through that line. Every route we run is full speed. There are no half-speed routes in our offense, in our system. Okay, the next part of releasing, we do a pre-practice routine. But I'm just going to go through some of these, and we use these hand shields so you get used to this. Okay? First thing here that you want to work on is just a speed release. Now, a couple of things. Whenever we get a press technique from a defensive back, we want to balance our weight and our stance. We don't want to have all our weight forward. Balance up your weight so you can go either way. The first thing you want to do is a fastball with low pads and high hands. You just want to pick an angle on that guy and accelerate and run speed release around him with a rip. Okay, the next technique is just a forearm pull. Now, what is a forearm pull? Every defensive back that ever has been taught to play, whenever the receiver makes a move outside, he's going to try to take his offhand and put it on your off shoulder and flatten you out as you go. So we just want to counter that by having high hands with just a forearm pull. So as I work, you can see we always practice on a line here. As I release, I'm going to anticipate that contact with the offhand and just pull it with my forearm. But as I go by with low pads, I have strength and I can get back on that line. That's a big, important coaching point. Next technique is an arm over. What's an arm over? I'm going to chop a hand that's going low on my hip as I go by. And I'm going to keep that hand from holding me up. Again, I'm going to chop it with a hard downward force, and I'll pull myself back on that line. Another picture of it as I go by. Chop, pull, get back on that line. Chop, pull, back on the line. This is a gangster release. What's a gangster release? It's a change-up. We talk about this as having different tools in our toolkit. You can't just use the same tool for every job. You can't use a hammer to screw in a screw. So you got to get a screwdriver. You need a hammer. You need a saw. You have different tools for different things. You want to change up. Whenever a defensive back walks up on you, you want to change it up. Sometimes you want to be fire and stick him. Sometimes you want to ghost him and be ice. So you want to change that up. What a gangster release is, a lot of times the defensive back is taught to be patient. They play back on their heels. And if they're on their heels, you can take both hands, thumbs in high to the sky, and just hit him right at the breastplate to get him back on his heels and then quick swim him and go by. It's just an example. So we'll work that in practice. 2-hand shiver right to his chest plate, and then quick swim and get him by. You got to anticipate the hands coming here. A lot of this is anticipation that has to be repped and practiced. Okay? This is a two-piece move. You know, like two-piece Tuesday at Popeyes? This is a two-piece move. It's a shock and a quick swim. Not a big swim, a quick swim. And then get back. Get back over your alignment. All right. Many times, a defensive back will try to quick jam you on the line of scrimmage. He'll try to get his weight forward, and you have to learn to read body language. If you feel this guy in a wide, heavy base, and he's gathering his weight forward, and he starts to be ready to lunge and grab you by the throat, what I want to do is I want to back my weight up, and I want to be balanced so I can go sideways. And I want to just basically jump out of the way, sideways, and release him as you go, and then get vertical back on that line. If he misses you on the line of scrimmage, it's over, cats and Christmas. Another example, you got to learn to read body language. This guy gets heavy on you, he's going to try to jump you, he's going to try to choke you out on the line of scrimmage. I don't want to run into him. I want to run lateral. Jump lateral, get vertical, so you can beat that technique. You have to learn to read body language of the defensive back. Is he inside? Is he outside? Is he deep? Is he soft? Is he heavy? You got to take that information in at the line of scrimmage. Okay? The guy's lined up on you. He's got a wide base. His weight's forward. He's going to try to muscle you and choke you out. Be ready for it. Make him miss. Get back on that line. We can take these techniques on the side and we can break them down. This is an example. If a defensive back gets on your side and gets his hand on your shoulder, we attack a high hand with a forearm pull. Anytime he puts his hand on my shoulder, I'm going to be ready to pull it 3 times. Boom. And I'm just going to pop that bag 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pull, get back on that line. 1, 2, 3. Quick and tight, like a boxer. Same thing coming back. Left shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull it off. If a defensive back is attacking me below my chest, on my hip, I'm going to chop it off 3 times. Chop it off on my hip and keep that thing off. Just like I got a hammer in my fist and I'm leaning up against the wall and I'm banging a nail into the wall. You want to be forceful, you want to be aggressive, but get that hand off of you. This is an old school rep here, going back to Oklahoma. But just look at this. This is high hands. The defender, one guy here is on offense, the other guy's on defense. But very simply, all they're trying to do is try to tap the shoulder pads with high hands or tap his hip with low hands. If it's high hands, we're just going to pull it off. Pull it off. If it's low hands, we're going to clean our pads and clean that off and keep those hands off of our body. Here's a little pre-practice from this spring. Okay? Again, that pad's on my shoulder. I'm going to pull it. Pull it off. Pull it off. Pull it off. Active hands. The quicker your hands go, the quicker your feet go. Forearm pull with contact above your waist. Pull, pull, good. Pull, 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 get it off. Pull, 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 get it off. It's pre-practice routine. Working your skills. Working your fundamentals. Quick gangster, okay? Be physical with it. Punch that guy right in his breastplate, and then quick swim. Get back on the line. That's why you got to play with high hands. Right in the chest, release back on top. Boom, boom. Be forceful with it. Big, strong guy needs to learn to play with low pads and high hands so he doesn't expose his blocking surface. But be physical. Learn how to be physical to get those guys. If you're physical, they'll never want to get up on you. Just some examples of releasing here. Really important that you're starting a great stance. Pads down, high hands, be ready to work here. Now the D guy walks up on you, he's a little bit off of you. He's playing balanced here, okay? One of the things you want to be able to do coming off the line of scrimmage, you want to come off in a strong stance. You want to get to balance. You see where Tim here is balanced. What that allows you to do is break in or break out on that defensive back, okay? Then you want to attack him. When he tries to shoot his hand, boy, you got to be ready to counter with your hands. Active hands and active feet. Feet and hands work together, but it's got to be quick. It's got to be explosive, and you got to have pad level. Here's an inside route. He gets up into the defender and then separates away. Very good. Okay? Take a look again. Learn to read these guys. What does he do? He comes off and he comes to balance, but he's got low pads and he's got active hands. And now he can go by and anticipate contact. He's in good shape here now. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get to your top of your route. You're ready to separate. When he separates, are his pads high? No. He's lower than the defender. So when he steps and separates, man, he gains separation from the DB. Just a few shots here. Okay? Comes off jab, anticipate with hand movement. Good. You got to be the attacker on contact. You can't receive this. You can't come through with a dead arm here. Active arm. It's either got to rip through or it's got to arm over. It's one of the two. Good active hands here. Crossing them over on the corner route. Big man coming off the ball. When you're active and fast, you're hard to cover. When you're dull, you're easy to cover. Quick hands. Anticipate contact. Here's a quick swim right there. Get back on that red line. That's why it's on the practice field. Get back into the defender with speed and strength and stack it. Excellent job right there. Same thing. Big man coming off. Active hands. Look at how he gets balanced. He gets balanced. Active hands. Anticipate him shooting his hands. When he does, counter it. He counters it. You got to go over. Big, tall guys got to be good at arm over because you're taller than the defender. Now, you got to get back on this line. You got to eat the field back up, attack the line with a low shoulder here, and strip. You're battling for inches here. The quarterback is seeing this picture right here. You got to get your shoulder on top. If you clearly can't win, that's when he'll back shoulder throw you. But you got to give him some box. That's why this red line is here. Fight for the position. Okay? Come on. Get balanced. Good. Balance. Anticipate that hand. Don't let him get into you. If he gets into you, he's slowing you down. Right there, that's slowing you down. But counter, don't stop. All one-on-one is competing. Two guys fighting for space. Now, you get into him with the shoulder. That's good. Now separate. You got a chance to make a play right here. This is an open receiver. Quarterbacks can hit guys like that. Active. Active hands. Active hands. As you go by, you got to do something. You got to arm over. You got to pull it. You can't allow him. He's taking money out of your pocket. If his left hand is on your hip, he's slowing you down. You got to fight and stack for that red line here. Not bad at the finish. Inside. Active feet and hands. Fast feet, fast hands. Good. Arm over as you go inside. Good. Now get back in his kitchen. What does that mean? Get back into the defender so I can take the field that I want. Good. That's an open receiver. Active feet, active hands. Active feet, active hands. Be active with your hands as you go by. Now stack it. Stack him as you go by. Good job. Active feet, active hands. Good. Low pads. Be explosive. When you go, you got to run. Now, if you run, he'll run. If you run, he'll run. Now, if you want to put the brakes on, you can club him by. Excellent. Active feet, active hands. Now, gangster. Get into him. Good. Two hands at the chest. See him hop? Watch him hop on the line. If he hops and you can get into his chest, now you got him on his heels. Now you just open the door right here. Open the door to push him behind and run. Now get him off of you and stack him. Excellent job. Excellent job. You can't hold. Good. Come on, arm over. Get that shoulder back underneath and take the ground. Get back on that red line. Good. Stack. Hands. Active. Anticipate. It's 100%. He's going to shoot a hand. So you got to anticipate that and get it off of you. Squeeze, stack. Fighting for inches. Good. I love the way he come off the ball. He's not right on the line. He's about 2 yards off. So eat up cushion. Run right at him. And now, boom, 2 hands to the chest. Pop his breastplate. Club him. Now you're in control. Now you're coming off. You're the aggressor on offense right here. Squeeze up into him. Separate. That's an open receiver. Good. Active hands. Good balance. Good. You got a two-way go here. You got little pads. You got strength. You got something going. Hand, arm over as you go by. Now squeeze the red line. Now finish. Right here, you can't allow him to keep that hand on you. You got to pull it off. You got to arm over. You got to stack him. But you got to get back on top and finish the top of the route. All it is competing. All releasing is technique and competing. Get it off. You might have to hit it once, twice, 3 times as you're going through your route. But get that arm off. You cannot allow it to stay on your body. Good job. Watch him fight and get back on top and stack. Good. Good job of finishing. Couple pictures of gangster release. This is what it looks like. Boom. Right in the breastplate. See how the DB's on his heels? Boom. Now just pop him, and it's a combination of power, explosiveness, and strength coming off. Good picture of it. Here's another one. And once you get a feel for this, you can tell when you got the guy on his heels. Right in the breastplate. Right in the breastplate. It's a 6-inch punch. Get him off of you. All you got to do is put that on film a couple times. Here's a good release of a slot receiver versus cover 1. The DB is playing outside technique. Attack him, and you got to learn to work angles off the line of scrimmage. Angle off in the first 5 yards. If you widen his outside hip, he will widen. And that opens the door for you to run inside on the dig. Just don't run vertical and allow him to push you inside. Attack his outside hip off the line of scrimmage, then straighten up. But know this, at some point, the hand's coming out. Arm over, climb to the top of the route, and separate. Good. Couple game clips. See it from the close-up here. But here's a bump and run with an All-American corner. But again, low pads. Go by with strength. She shoots the hand, forearm, pull it off. Pull it off, throw him by. Pull it off, full speed route. You got him running because you're running full speed. Now you put the brakes on and club him by. That's an open receiver. Excellent. Get open. Your job is to get open. Come off the ball. Bump and run. Here's a gangster release. 2 hands, 6-inch, right in the chest. The guy's trying to squat, wide, jam you on the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 5. They're trying to hammer us at the line of scrimmage. Banging, inside release, after the short punch to the chest, quick swim, run away. Quick swim and run away. Excellent job. Very good technique in a tough situation in the game. That's just some highlights of releasing, some things to think about and study as we go into this 2016 season.